Frankie's stupid, not hostile. Let's not kill each other over a stray shot.
Dark Irons, however, we're doing it a little bit different. Think of it as a different revision, right? We're version 0.2 because it's technically not released yet. And we're going to be trying a few different things out. But today we have Jerry, who played in the first Dark Irons and played in a couple of our previous Theater Thursday. I think you played the Halloween one and then the one in November. We also have Nick, and new to Theater Thursdays is Chris.
Yo.
Dark Irons is kind of a dark fantasy western, weird western, in which it takes place after the rapture happens. The world itself is theater of the mind. So it's not like your traditional Dungeons & Dragons where you're going to have a battle map. Although I will be kind of taking note of where everybody is, because position, or I should say distance, does matter in this iteration. Currently the party is in hell. To give us a description of hell, it's not a standard landscape like we would think of Earth, in which you walk north and you're going to keep going north until you hit the North Pole, right? You can walk and walk and walk and walk and find out you've been walking in the same place, even with scenery changing, for almost eternity. So it's constructed via thoughts, intentions, and in the mind. It's not like a physical place, right? So with that being said, it takes a special mindset to navigate through this. And the current party that we have now consists of a few trackers. And these trackers are really important for navigating through hell and not getting lost. In hell, there are also a few different cities. There's actually a lot of different cities. The cities on both hell and earth typically have a gate going from hell to earth or earth to hell, depending where you're at, right? And so this group has started out from Hawkwater. Hawkwater actually has a gate in its compound, and it goes to a town called Tencent in hell. Kind of a medium-ish sized town. So the party from Hawkwater has been traveling in hell for what seems like maybe a few months. It's hard to say because time doesn't... I don't want to say time doesn't exist. Time doesn't flow like it does on Earth. On Earth, you kind of have a day-night cycle. In hell, it just kind of, you might be walking along and you're like, wow, the sun is, it's already noon, and then bam, it's nighttime. Everybody doesn't stay dead forever, typically, right? This is eternity now, so when you die, you can get resurrected. Makes it really interesting for holding grudges. If somebody were to kill you, do something like that, right? A lot of you can come back in greater force, that sort of thing. But while you are not resurrected, you are essentially a unit for ether production. Ether is you can think of as like dark magic. It's unknown. It's like a quantum magic where the more you try to understand it, the less it makes sense. It just changes.
I have a question.
Yeah.
With the setting. So there's towns in hell.
Mm-hmm. Cities.
What do these towns look like, and what are they populated with?
The towns consist of just rickety buildings, right? How you would think of a normal settlement. And the towns themselves don't differ that much between hell and earth. That is populated with demons and people. Now, for the purpose of telling the difference between the two, really, some demons will be very marked up. That's where they keep their bonds, right? The magical promises and things they've made. following the same vein of the last session as well, true names are very important. You are your true name. And being that the world has a finite number of people, they come back, but it's finite, right? There's no reproduction, there's no true death. You may or may not know somebody by their true name, and people sometimes almost forget their true name because they might go by an alias for so long, right? But demons, especially like hellwalkers, and demons that are bonded in a reverend type role, you won't even tell. You can't even tell. Dark ones are one of the only demons that you'll definitely be able to tell they're a demon because they take pride in it. So demons can resurrect after 6 months on their own, and they can choose a form to take. They are essentially genderless, and they just choose an identity that they want to be. Sometimes they look like a human. Sometimes they definitely do not look like a human. Humans can alter themselves in a particular way where sometimes it's hard to tell whether they're a demon or a human. You know, because there's ideas of like intimidation, right? There's ideas of wanting to look persuasive. There's ideas of wanting to look like you're not approachable in any way. All of these things come down to how a person wants to interact or not interact with people. So some people do feel like the rapture isn't the end. The wicked were inherited the earth to make it better. A lot of people have very twisted views on that, right? Because they think that their better is just their personal better. And so there are some cults that have kind of been established, and a lot of the people who bond with demons have just a little different outlook on life. Because some people feel that bonding with a demon and almost becoming one is a heightened existence. The group from Hawkwater had traveled together. From Hawkwater, so I'm going to call them Group A, essentially. Group A consisted of, and this is for you, Jerry and Chris, because your characters would know each other. A hellspawn demon named Curly, a trapper named Sid, a homesteader named Tobias, a human named Tobias, root and toot and shooter named Frankie. Then there's the slinger Ron. Ron, would you like to describe yourself a little bit?
Ron's a man of few words. There to protect the town. The town is all that's important to him. He doesn't necessarily always think things through, though. I'm a human. I'm a good fighter. I'm quick with guns. Maybe not the most intelligent, though.
And then there's a reverend named Bart.
Absolutely, Reverend Bart. I'd say he's a middle-aged man. Looks human enough, wearing kind of an old suit. Yeah, just kind of walking with an air of maybe a little bit holier than thou.
He's kind of uppity.
Slightly.
Does he tell people to eat their shorts?
I feel like he's the kind of guy that gets told to eat people's shorts, or at least would be in another life.
Okay. You guys know each other. There has been a little bit of tension. There's been a couple moments of tension, not between you two in particular, but just in the group once in a while. More recently, you guys had picked up some stragglers, and so the other group had just joined a few days ago. Nick, your character Ezekiel appears to be a human. You had two people traveling with you. You had come across a demon named Cat. And then of course there is the other guy that you were traveling with. Who you would know as Bill Hollywood. So the story starts off a few days outside of Malsaru. Malsaru is one of those towns we were talking about. You know that there is a gate there. You guys are planning on going to the other side of Malsaru, maybe a day or two out, as you believe that is where Abraham's soul is. So you guys aren't going to be stopping and using the portal in Malsaru until you get Abraham, and then it's a discussion of, do you want to go to Malsaru, go up to Earth and then travel that way, or do you want to go back to Tencent to do that? So the first night, you guys are sitting around a campfire as you guys have been traveling all day. The Hawkwater group is together, and then like Bill Hollywood is kind of sitting there. Zeke is off on his own, and you hear Sid kind of talking to Tobias and Curly, and you just overhear him saying,
"This is absolute bullshit. We should be out looking for our fucking soldiers that we lost 3 fucking years ago. There's a good men, and we've been doing nothing but losing guys on expeditions ever since. I don't know what the hell this Abraham guy has to offer, but I'm getting real sick of Avalis' shit."
Can I have you, Chris, make a conversation roll for me?
Bart is gonna try and be diplomatic, because not taking too kindly to talking smack about Avalis. 47?
Okay. So the closer the number, the more of his motives you're gonna kind of get. And the number I rolled was a 77, so.
Oh yeah. Also, I guess Silver Tongue, I can add 5% to that, right? So would that bump it up to a 52?
It would bump it up to a 52.
All right.
So you've heard him kind of utter this complaining before, and it's never really turned into anything. You know you need Sid, but it's getting kind of old, just hearing the same complaining over and over and over. So would you like to say anything?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Bart is gonna kind of try to as casually as he can approach Sid, and he's just gonna say, "Oh, Sidney, we know you've got. Oh, we know this has been a whole heap of trouble, but I trust this Abraham. If Avalis wants him, he wants him for a good reason, and constant belly aching isn't gonna get us there any faster. It's just gonna fray our nerves on the way."
You know, I'm starting to agree. I think this belly aching needs to stop being belly aching. I'm not saying we should just not get Abraham, but I'm sick and tired of watching men die as we go on these damn expeditions. Now, do I say we should just turn, tail? No. You know I'm not saying that. I'm saying if we can take a few months, maybe find some of our men that we've lost on some of these expeditions. Then we can see if Avalis still wants this Abraham.
And you see Tobias kind of like, yeah, you know, maybe you say it, preacher man, because you don't lose nobody. But I lost my brother just last year. He was on a mission just like we is. And you know what? He never came back. But we ain't going to pick him up.
Your brother was a useless pile of cow dung. And if he was worth anything, we'd have been out there picking him up already. So why don't you just sit back down?
You better watch your tongue. The only reason you're here is because you're little Avalis' pet anyway. You should have retired a long time ago.
I should have retired? Want to step over there? We'll figure out who's slower.
Friends, we've lost enough. We've lost enough good men on these expeditions, and there's no need for us to lose any more. Why don't we keep our noses to the grindstone, as it were? We'll be done with it.
And Curly,
I agree.
Curly's like, you know what, Sid? You need to stop just rustling people's feathers. Jesus, we're down here. Nobody wants to be down here. It's hell, for Christ's sake. Can we just get this done with and go back Earthside? Sid turns to him.
I'd love nothing more than to just be done with this. But I guarantee as soon as we're done, we bring him Abraham, our asses are gonna be back down here. Till there's none of us left.
And Frankie, you just kind of see Frankie nodding. He's just like, yeah, when does it stop? Tobias stands up. So how about you, old man? You still want to do that challenge? And you kind of hear some howling in the distance. You see Sid stand up and says,
Shh, shut up!
Tobias sits down. You see Sid pull the scoped rifle from his back. Most of you kind of just see the fire. It's hard to make anything out further, but you watch as Sid walks kind of off just into the darkness, and he slowly lies down, and you see him take aim, and then just with a loud bang, it's you hear ah! And he got whatever it was. From your guys' experience, it sounds like it is a dark yodi, which is just it's
Okay. Yeah.
an ether coyote. After a few moments, he steps back into the light.
That son of a bitch isn't gonna cause no one trouble tonight. I think that we should probably turn in. I'll keep first watch.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay. He watches then for the rest of the night, and you guys wake up ish. It's weird in hell. It's not like you just wake up rested. In fact, it doesn't always seem like you even need to sleep sometimes. But there's this feeling of if you don't sleep or if you don't rest, if you travel at nighttime, you just feel heavier, and then it doesn't go away during the daytime until you just eventually feel like lead. It's a really weird experience, but also you don't want to travel at night typically because there's more ether activity.
From lead we will come, to lead we will go. Circle of life.
So yeah, he says that weird thing. The stragglers, you kind of hear some whispers amongst them as they're kind of talking about stuff, but so far they've been, let's just say, behaving themselves. They haven't really caused a whole lot of trouble or anything, and they help pitch tents, they help carry stuff. A couple of them are armed, but not all of them are, and it's been kind of nice having them to help out. They haven't seemed to cause too much trouble, except while you're traveling, who you know as Heather is yelling, "You get the hell away from me, you piece of shit!" And then you hear Kat lunge back at her to push. Kat's like,
If you're lucky that you have these people here, you're weak. You should be nothing but ether production.
Heather, pushes Kat back again, and then you watch as the cat has this grin on its face, and it becomes clear that Kat is a Dark One, if there was any suspicion before, as out of her hand you just see like a blade forming, and it looks like it's metal, but it's like dripping in ether. Very strange to somebody who had never seen a Dark One before. You guys are all familiar. You guys have seen it. You watch then as Kat says,
You look like you're fresh out. How about we put you right back, make you useful?
As Kat starts stepping forward, Trey pulls a rifle off from his back, and it's like, "Try it! I dare you to try it!"
I think Bart is going to step in and try to break this up. I want to try and get a read on Kat. Is it just here to cause trouble and just shed blood if possible, or does there seem to be something else going on?
Right now, all you know is you don't really know them well enough.
Mm-hmm.
Not all Dark Ones are crazy, super aggressive. It just maybe they had instigated it, but it's really hard to tell. And as you're kind of thinking about this, you watch as Tobias then walks in, and he's like, "Hey, what the hell is going on here?" And then pulls his rifle out, and then starts pointing it at Trey. And he's just like, "You ain't have no right to take no lives." And then you watch as Bill kind of gets in the middle between essentially Trey and Kat. And it is kind of a mess now, as Maria pulls out a knife, just a regular knife, and stands next to Trey. And it is abundantly clear there is something just happened, and somebody might die.
Yeah, I think the first thing, since I assume we're kind of in a group together with our own party, Bart's gonna kind of put a hand on Tobias and be like, well, just tell him to simmer down. If these fine folk want to murder each other over petty squabbles, let's not shed any of our own blood for it. And he'll kind of step away from the party to address the kind of the mess that stands before us, and just start kind of get. Now, do we have an explanation for what is going on here, my friends? We have kindly invited you to join our party to provide you strength in numbers. And why are you bringing chaos into our midst?
So when you had told Tobias we don't need to lose anybody or shed our blood, did you say that like out loud, or are you whispering to him?
Like quietly to him, like kind of like pump the brakes, friend. You know,
Okay.
Like we're not going to start a fight with these people. If they're gonna fight each other, we're not gonna get involved with the bloodbath. But yeah, like quietly to him.
Okay. Because then Frankie is actually going to play off of that. Ron and Bart know Frankie is not being the brightest bulb on the tree. And so he goes, sees you say something to Tobias, and then you're demanding an explanation. He also starts running up, and he brings a 6-shooter, and he's like, "You guys forget whose guests you are." And then he like is pointing it at Bill. And
Is that even? Oh, no, not Bill.
yeah,
Frankie, you idiot.
and
This is what I thoughts, not words.
yeah. So he points it at Bill, and it is a very, very awkward situation right now. So, in answering your question, Heather actually answers it without taking her eyes off of Kat. Just says, "This damn scoundrel comes through and trying to cause my trouble. I'm missing something. I know it." And then Kat immediately responds, just yelling, "It's gonna be ahead if you don't shut your mouth, woman." Kat's walking forward, and Bill is just kind of like holding Kat back. And then Trey and Maria start walking forward. And you notice Sid is just sitting back. He doesn't have any of his weapons out. It's clear that somebody dies. It's not Sid's problem. Alright, I don't know where my D4 is, so I'm just gonna roll a D8 and divide it by 2. Oh, okay. Frankie shoots Bill.
Frankie.
Well, fuck.
Frankie didn't mean to shoot Bill, you figure. It doesn't seem like Frankie to just shoot. But Frankie just shot Bill. So he ends up doing 1 damage to Bill. Yes, Frankie. So he fires twice. And the first shot hits the ground. The second shot shoots Bill in the leg. And so Bill falls down. And in seeing that, Cat kind of lunges off to the side and then lunges forward at Heather.
Am I gonna have to kill Frankie?
Bart's just gonna yell, "Damn it, Frankie!" and kind of step like attempt to position his body between Frankie and the rest of this, and shoot. Oh, Cat's attacking Heather. Well, I think I have to stand by what I said. If they start killing each other, then I'll use my words, but I'm not gonna, risk our lives getting involved. Yeah, I think Bart's just gonna go, "Damn it, save our bullets for the threats out there. We don't need to on each other."
Okay, so you go ahead and you say that. Kat lunges forward, and Maria lunges forward to meet Kat. As Heather backs up, and as Heather backs up, she yells, "Look what you did, you stupid idiot!" And Trey You just hear Trey go, "What the fuck?" and turns his gun over to Frankie. Anybody want to do anything? Or are we letting the world take another turn?
I'm gonna go up to Bill and try to remove him from the situation.
I think I think Rev is Bart is continuing to position his body in between, attempting to stay between Frankie and the groups of stragglers. It's Trey has now got his gun trained on Frankie.
Well, it would be you now, but it's towards
trained on Frankie, who is inconveniently behind me.
Yeah, pretty much.
Frankie's stupid, not hostile. Let's not kill each other over a stray shot, all right? Bill's gonna be okay.
Tobias, of course, has his gun now trained on Trey, but he hasn't taken a shot yet. We are probably going to have to roll initiative.
Just need a die 10 for the initiatives.
Yeah, what is your guys' initiative?
0.
Neat.
Okay, so Ron has 8. Bart?
Bart's got a 4.
And what was Zeke?
I got a 0, it said.
That's 10, yeah. Okay, so first up is Zeke.
I'm moving towards Bill to remove him from the situation.
Okay, so you are within close range. You're just gonna grab him and try to pull him to medium range?
Yep.
Okay. So, yeah, you and he are now medium range. I'll say that's what you spent your turn doing. Okay.
Yep.
Next is Tobias, who then he hadn't yet. So he trains his gun on Frankie and holds fire. So he's not going to do, but he's trained on him. Next is Curly, who you guys don't know where Curly is right now. You don't really see him. Then it is Ron's turn.
Ron's going to draw and aim at Tobias.
Okay. So Ron aims at Tobias, does not fire.
Does not fire.
Okay. Next is Frankie and Heather. Frank is gonna reload his gun this turn, and Heather is going to get run medium range away from Cat. It is Cat's turn, who is then going to take a swing at Maria. You watch as it looks like she's going in and she's going to do some damage, but she maneuvers in the last second, and so only kind of slightly cuts Maria and does 1 point of damage. Sid's turn, and you watch as Sid is still where he was, and it is now Bart's turn.
All right. I'm gonna attempt to do a ceasefire at the end of the round. Only thing, well, yeah, we'll see. If one of our party ends up getting injured, then well, you'll be behaving differently in round 2. But yeah, Bart's gonna attempt a ceasefire.
Okay, so that's ceasefire, and Maria goes. Maria is acting almost out of impulse. She holds the knife in one hand, but she swings with her other hand and deals 1 damage to Cat. It is now Trey's turn. He trains his gun to you, but moves over and punches Cat. With his gun still kind of trained on you. So Cat's at 2 damage now. that is the end of this round. So go ahead and make an attempt for ceasefire. Your let's just say your difficulty is going to be a low one. So I think anything higher than 20% will be an
20%.
Yeah.
All right.
19.
That is a 93.
Boy, what a way! What a way to
what a waste of a 90. Yeah.
So you guys pause for a moment, and it is just this air of like really tense waiting for somebody to make a move. And you see Kat pull back her blade. She kind of rubs her jaw, and she's like, "Good hits, good hits." And then with that, you see Trey kind of relax a little bit, no longer trained on Ron. And then Heather kind of starts walking towards a little bit, and Maria backs off a little bit. Bill is still shot. He is.
Rub some dirt on it, boy.
If it wasn't a bullet wound, you think maybe it would be a little dramatic, but it's also a bullet wound, so maybe it's actually justified that his complaining about it. Do you lower your gun, Ron?
For story's sake, yes.
Okay. What? So just to explain, what did it look like when you had your gun out? What gun did you have? What gun did you have drawn?
Revolver.
A revolver. All right. So, he had his revolver trained, so you lower it from Trey, who had a repeater carbine. Tobias sees you do that, and then lowers his in response. Can you make a conversation roll for me, Bart? You can make a conversation roll as well, Ron. You may not care, but it's still something you might not pick up on.
Well, okay. That's a 97. We're really pushing.
Okay.
16.
Did
Okay.
Clint borrow you dice?
Yeah, you don't really pay attention, but that's not surprising. So you don't see this, but you're right there, Bart. So you see this like confusion and almost like, the fuck did I do? On Frankie's face. It's quite clear he did not intend. You just from the look on his face, almost like he was like scared for a second, like, wait, what? I did this? What? You know that this wasn't something he had thought out or anything like that.
Things were tense, and one of our gunmen is an idiot.
Kind of.
Yeah.
You have an ability. If you would like to use it, you can heal.
Okay. Yeah. I think, and it doesn't have a. It's basically just an action, right? It doesn't have like a specific cost to it.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah. Bart would for sure attempt to, because that'd be a big step in making this like a show of good faith. Like, no harm meant, brother. Allow me to render aid.
Okay, so do you approach Bill then? Because you kind of have to be. I think so.
For
That's
sure,
the thing.
close.
That's yeah.
think-
Does it say close on there?
This is close or medium range.
Okay.
But I think as a kind of peaceful gesture, he would like slowly approach and like he's not gonna just like sling magic at this guy from 20 feet away. He'll like go over there as though he's rendering first aid.
Is that something you're gonna allow, Zeke?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have no reason to distrust these people yet.
Okay. So you got literally just one of the. Anyway, you have your own thoughts. So yeah, you heal him up, and he's still a little whiny.
Of course.
But,
Push your belly again.
Doctor
Doctor said he just got a case of being a pussy.
But now take $20. he seems appreciative. He seems appreciative of you doing that. And then you see that Maria and Kat are still kind of like a little at edge, right?
Mhm.
But Kat is a lot more relaxed after getting hurt. It's really weird.
I weirdly feel like I get it. I feel like I feel like I've got a certain sense of what this creature's motivation is,
Okay.
and
so yeah, we can continue then. Let time pass if you guys want to let some time pass. Or is there anything else you want to do with this interaction? Is there any other things you guys want to like talk about or anything? Any way to...
I kind of feel like we should figure out what the hell really started all this.
yeah,
Hey, you fools! What was this all about?
It sounded like this started with a conflict between Kat and Heather, yeah?
Yeah.
And Heather thought that Kat had done allegedly something to provoke Heather, and then they were
Stolen
gonna
something
get
is what I got out of it.
Yeah.
So I think we need to figure out what Heather thinks was stolen.
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you go about this? You just be like, "Hey, Heather," or you
Yo,
kind of like walk up
Heather!
and be like, you know, like,
What do you want to
"Hey."
accuse Kat of? Any crimes you want to accuse
Okay, so
Dead
we're all
bodies are
kind
easier
of
to
calm
search.
down, right?
Yeah, it's a lot more relaxed than what it was.
I would try to kind of like take Heather aside from the group.
Okay. So to do that, some time will have to pass before Trey and Maria kind of let anybody separate her.
Well,
so
as everybody kind of disperses when they calms down.
okay, so a little bit of time will pass by then, and then you guys will actually start walking again. And then as you guys are traveling, you approach Heather.
And I give her a smack. No. I ask her, okay, so just, kind of calmly, like, what was that all about? What's going on between you and Kat?
Demons, man. Demons. I was just minding my own business, and she came by as if I wasn't even there, and just bumped into me. I don't even know what it is she took. But I'm sure she took something, because otherwise, why would she bumped into me? I've seen how demons like that work.
So, you almost got a whole bunch of folks dead because you don't trust the demon.
I didn't do nothing. A demon almost got a bunch of folks dead because it can't figure out what it's doing. And it can't leave people well enough alone.
You can have your own opinion, but next time you start this shit, you're on your own.
And she just kind of looks at you offended. I don't think that's fair. I was just minding my own business. It bumped me. Damn near knocked me over.
I'm not going to respond. I'm just going to walk away.
So only you know. And then, of course, you assume Trey and Maria probably know that side of the story.
I just learned a whole bunch about Heather.
Okay.
And I will fill in everybody else later.
Okay, so as you're walking, you're going to fill in Reverend. Tobias doesn't really care. Frankie, though, you notice Frankie just feels a little guilty. Almost as if he started it. Almost as if he was just like, I didn't mean to start nothing. I just faster than I thought I was. It's a curse, really.
I'm going to tell Frankie that next time he draws and fires by accident, I'll take his trigger fingers. If he's so fast he can't control himself, that'll slow him down next time.
That's not that's not fair. That's not fair.
Frankie, my friend.
He looks
If
at
I
you
might-
like, how can you blame him? It was an accident. It's not his fault. It was an accident.
And I've said all there is to say, and I'm just gonna walk away.
Okay.
Just walks off. Rev is just gonna slip in with just a piece of like what's the a little bit of like trigger discipline advice. Like, now if you're not sure whether or not you're gonna need to use the gun, maybe you keep the finger on the side of the trigger rather than pulling it in prematurely.
But I did. That's the problem. It was the other finger that hit it. And when I went to move the other finger, it happened twice. It was an accident. It's not like I tried. And so, he.
God bless you, Frankie. You do your best.
Yeah.
Bless your soul, Frankie.
So, time passes. Like the next 2 days, it's odd because Heather and Kat start talking, and now it seems that like Kat is part of that group. Not 100% sure what that's about, but yeah, whatever happened must be done. The next few nights have been kind of quiet. Sydney watched that first night, right? Curly watched. Tobias watched. It is Frankie's night to watch. You guys are sitting around the campfire, and it's somewhat cheery, or as cheery as it can be in a hellscape. You see Trey, Maria, Heather, and Kat, and Bill actually is with them as well. They seem to be playing some sort of odds and evens, or like some sort of like guessing game or something, but they're actually playing a game. Ace, the guy I forgot about until just now, Ace is hanging out with Curly. Sydney, Tobias, Frankie, of course, are sitting next to Ron, kind of around you, Ron, and Bart, you're just kind of off reading. Sid is, of course, complaining a little bit more as well.
When we get to Malsanu, we should see if we can find some leads. Even if we get this Abraham, and he sends us back down, he won't be able to say no for us to get our brothers, the ones who fell.
He maybe makes a point. Maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea if since you're going through Malsanu, to stop to see if you could find somebody who would have information. And then as the fire starts winding down a little bit, you just hear Frankie go, "Well, it's my watch, so everybody can take a nap like I wish I could."
Bart's gonna sleep with one eye open. Bart's gonna stay awake. I think he doesn't. We all love Frankie dearly, but I think I speak for everyone when I say that. But I feel like something's gonna happen with him on watch. I feel like I got a bad feeling about Frankie being left in charge of our well-being for a whole night.
Okay. Now what I will say is you're gonna either want to do it instead of him, or you're going to probably want to sleep. Because if you're gonna do it with him, there's no sense in two people being awake and tired.
Well, it would help Frankie though.
Yeah.
But then if you offer to stay awake, then Frankie's going to just say, "Well, okay."
No, not offer. Just stay awake and let Frankie think he's doing the job. Kind of like, when you had your little brother with the controller not plugged in.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, exactly that. Like, I think the play here is to discreetly keep watch, while just kind of staying like huddled up, but Frankie gets to feel like he's, and if nothing happens. Frankie did his job. But we got a fail safe without like making Frankie feel like a useless POS.
Sure. So some time passes in the night. So who's awake?
I think just Bart. I think Bart's awake.
Bart's awake. Okay.
Yeah.
Is Ron sleeping?
Yeah, because Bart will wake me up if something happens.
Okay. So you don't hear this, but Bart, you hear this. You hear him just talking, to himself. You know, I really wish things had turned out differently, but it is what it is, they say, and I know one day I'm gonna find you again, but I think maybe if you could just help me, that would be nice. Can you make a conversation roll, please?
Absolutely. What the heck?
Of course, it's
It's
you did not roll 100. You better not have rolled 100.
I would call it it's a dirty 100. It's a 95 on the die plus 5% for silver tongue.
Jeez.
I'm not making this up. I wish I had a camera on. I was doing just garbage. I was just like throwing the dice around, and it was like 0, 8, 2, 1. I don't know. It's just
You're getting all your bad rolls out of the way.
Like me. Yeah.
Um.
I'm rolling out
So. This was a match, so it actually turns out. So I'll actually let you subtract 5%.
Okay.
But what I will tell you is you're pretty sure he's talking to you. You don't really know what he's saying. You don't know how he knows you're up. But that silence sounds like he's waiting for a response.
Okay. So he was saying he wished things turned out differently, but it is what it is.
And he's gonna find that person again sometime,
he's gonna find
Right.
someone. He's gonna find someone.
Frankie is so weird.
Frankie is. I don't think Frankie's talking about the. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Bart's gonna get up and go over to just and kind of quietly, not sneaking, by the way, just not wanting to wake people up. And just say, well, who are you gonna find, friend?
He turns around and he's like, oh, well, he's supposed to be sleeping. Well, I guess maybe I go to the bathroom sometimes, although I probably should be getting up to do it. It's just nothing. And so the roll was a 21, so you're kind of farther away.
Oh, sure.
And he's like, I wasn't always by myself. I had a girl, and yeah, she something happened, and yeah, I don't know, but he's really lonely sometimes, you know, and I just sometimes I think my mind, if I had her, it would be easier. And it's not to say that I don't enjoy your presence and I don't enjoy everybody else's presence, but I just miss her. So it's one of those things, and everybody lives forever, but then why do I not see her again, you know?
I know what you mean, Frank. We've all felt the sting of loss, even in this unending state. Just tell you what. We get to Melsaru. Why don't you try asking around about your girl? See if anybody knows about where her soul might be. Apparently, lots of people are going to be doing that. For other souls, not for your girl.
Jesus.
Well, I need some sleep. My silver tongue sure is tired.
Well, do you really mean that maybe she will be able to find her? It really confusing because I didn't think that when you lose a dog that it works the same way.
Does it work the same way when it's a dog?
I don't know. We don't know.
That's a reference.
No, it doesn't, because all dogs go to heaven.
Yeah, we don't know.
Do all dogs go to heaven?
Yeah, probably.
So she's gone. Sick.
So, as this is happening, you do see a glint and then two eyes reflecting off of the low fire just outside of the range of light. And you hear growling.
Oh, right, something at the fire.
And so you say that out loud to Frankie?
Yeah, to Frankie, yeah.
Okay.
Like, whoa, something's at the fire. Go.
And then you see it kind of back away. So all you saw is really the reflection of its eyes, but now you see it back away into the darkness, into nothing. And then you hear oh, and then
I heard nothing.
the fire erupts. It's 10 times as bright. You see the eyes now, and you see the front of the face, and it is a dark coyote.
Yay!
And it howled. You know that a dark coyote howling is supposedly the thing of nightmares. In listening to it, it actually doesn't sound that intimidating at all. So of course, like, people would exaggerate that. But it's not moving towards you, and it's not backing down. Roll initiative.
Yeah, that's great. That's a good idea. And
It's just you.
It's just
Frankie's just looking at it
me
like,
and
what?
Frankie, 7. Awesome. Okay, good.
Okay. So,
Good thing
let
Frankie's
me
got
see.
fast fingers.
yeah, Frankie got a 1.
Oh shit.
Frankie,
That's not unexpected.
where you take your trigger fingers?
So this is really cool though. Like, so you are at the same time as the coyote, the dark coyote.
Great. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna be moving simultaneously. Yeah.
Yes. And right now the dark coyote is in medium range. So the dark coyote's going right now, just as you're doing this. And it was howling, and it continues to howl, except it becomes like an echoey howl. Like, it's a really weird, almost like it has 3 different sets of vocal cords, and so it's ringing out really weird. And it seems to wake everybody, or it's going to be waking everybody.
What if the dark coyotes are the dogs that died?
Oh.
Let's not talk about that's rough.
Oh man.
Maybe
Don't
it's
tell
Frankie's dog.
Maybe it's
Could be.
Frankie's dog. Back to
Remember,
dog.
a lot of these things out in the wilds are
Oh, it's
manifestations.
Yeah,
right?
I was thinking about a dog.
So, because they're manifestations of thoughts and things. But you've heard of dark coyotes before. This isn't the first time.
Yeah.
So it's not. This isn't just a new discovery.
Yeah.
Right?
So but it's the the sense that I'm getting is that it's possible that it's like Frankie didn't invent a dark coyote, but like maybe him ruminating on his dog so hard, like attracted the like nearby dog-like monsters.
Possible.
Thoughts.
It's
that kind of sway.
Yeah, it's possible. You don't. Yeah.
You
All
wouldn't
I'll
know
say
for
is,
sure.
yeah, that's your speculation. Your character is not going to know enough about the wilds and the ether to like have an understanding of the universe. So you speculate that, yes. That might be why.
I think he's just gonna shoot it. I think he's gonna yell, and he's gonna shoot it. He's gonna shoot this dark coyote.
Okay. I do think it's funny that you're going to yell before you shoot a pistol. With
That
bow.
seems like a
It's
smart
just-
thing to do,
just
though.
Get out and shoot the. Just it's a little. It's like a few seconds of forewarning. People
Yeah.
aren't. People are. They're gonna get. Maybe they have a split second.
Sure.
come to.
It just sounds funny, like just in case.
Wake up, everybody!
Yeah, just in case the loud ringing of a bullet being sent out of a small chamber through an explosive force wasn't enough. Maybe the hey guys, just beforehand we'll got everybody woken up. You have a Derringer, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Just choose a target and attack for 3 range damage. The Dark Coyote gets to try to dodge. So this Dark Coyote would have soaked all 3 damage. However, Dark Coyotes don't dodge, so you killed it.
Oh, awesome! Great.
Um,
What a great relief.
Yes. Okay. So then it's Frankie's turn, and Frankie pulls out his pistol and points it at where the Dark Coyote was, and is like, "Did you get it?"
Yes, Frankie, I got it.
So everybody else has woken up now, and you and Frankie see just around the Dark Coyote are swirls of like dark ether forming from like a little globe coming up, and then it forms into another Dark Coyote. You watch as there's 2, 6, 10, 15, 17 maybe Dark Coyotes howling in unison just like that original Dark Coyote. And it clicks. This is why the howl is absolutely terrifying. Not because of the sound it makes, but because of the effect that it has. I'm gonna need everybody to roll initiative.
Yeah. Am I rolling a new initiative or am I staying?
So every round of combat, every round is a new initiative.
It's a D10 though, right?
Yes.
9.
9? Okay, cool.
Yep.
You guys are gonna be keeping track of your health as well, okay? Bart.
Absolutely. 6.
Zeke.
1.
Man, you're a tired boy.
No.
You just don't care.
Calculating. Bill shouldn't be doing this.
You're gonna tell that to Bill?
Yes.
Okay.
Sit down. You're gonna get shot again.
Okay. So there are 2 Dark Coyotes that go first, and each make an attack. One on Bart and one on Frankie. Ron, it is your turn.
All right.
Do
so
you-
I'm shooting?
Yeah, okay, so you run out of the tent and then to shoot?
Yes.
Okay. There are, just a heads up, there are 2 currently in close range, and there are 15 in medium range.
Well, since I don't get a penalty for close range, that's what I'm shooting.
So the 2
So-
in close range, gotcha?
First shot was a 3. 3? Well, I have the Havoc cylinder, so we're going to pull that into play.
Okay, so you
So-
can ignore that 3.
Okay. 6.
Okay?
3.
Okay, so you did 2 damage.
Yep.
As you shoot the 2 that are close, there are 5 of them that are splitting off. 2 attack you, 2 attack Reverend, and then 1 attack Frankie. Reverend, add 2 to the damage you need to mitigate. You get to immediately try to parry since you've already went, Ron.
Yep.
You will need to mitigate 2 damage. 4? Okay.
4.
So you mitigate all the damage.
Yep.
And Frankie piles on 2 damage. So Trey comes out, pulls out his repeater, and it does 1 damage. And it's 1 again. His gun jams. Maria just has a knife, so she's going to try to slash at one of the close ones. And it's just a standard D4. She kills one of them. Heather doesn't have a weapon, and she's not going to try to punch one.
Fair enough.
Ace is going to use a knife as well. So he's going to try to kill one of the close ones. And he does. Bill's not going. Oh, and Cat's going for sure. And she gets a 6. And she gets to target everybody within close range, I believe. So she's going to kill the remaining 3 in close range. So now there is 7 that you see in medium range. Now, Frankie, he rolled a 2. He mitigates all 3 damage. So Frankie is going to try to shoot. So he kills 2 of them. Tobias is going to try to shoot 1 as well. He does 1 damage to the medium. So there's currently 5 left. Sydney is going to try medium. And he's actually going to do 1 damage. He's going to take 1 out. So he pulled out a scoped rifle. And he actually rolled a 7 on the D8. But medium is -6. Because it's a little close. So then it is Curly's turn. Curly's not going to attack anything because he's going to just kind of stand his ground. He just has a knife out right now. He doesn't have a gun. That brings us to Bart. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So I got a 6. I have 3 damage that I want to mitigate. That means I want to roll a 3 or lower on the die to mitigate everything.
Or 9.
Or
9, yeah.
Right, because it's about the difference. Okay.
Yes.
Neither direction. Gotcha. Okay. Let's see what we got. That is a 3.
There you go. You mitigated all the damage.
Whew, that is great. Okay, and then this round, as I understand it, I can't fire the Derringer because I have to reload it.
Correct.
Okay. Ooh, actually, there aren't that many coyotes left, right? There's only 5.
3. Wait. 4.
4 of them left. And some of them are already in close, or some of them already in close range for.
They're medium.
Instead of reloading, I'm gonna try and move up into close and just. I'm going to use a blade weapon.
Okay, and you have a sheath?
Yep, I have a sheath.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay, so slicing him with a knife, that's a D4 damage.
Correct.
Okay. 1.
Okay, it doesn't actually matter in this particular case because you still kill one. Yeah, so, like, you just needed to do 1 damage, so. There is now 3 left. It is their turn. Both of them are going to try to make an attack on Ron. So how they do their damage, they don't actually do it individually because they're like a pack. So you need to mitigate 2 damage.
I had a 9 on my initiative.
Yes, correct.
All right. 7.
7. You mitigate both of it. Oh, there was 3 left. I'm sorry. And so you had 2. So you actually do take 1 damage. 11, 12, 13. Yeah. And now it is Zeke's turn. Do you want to type it? Do you want to type it into? So they're currently in close range because they had attacked Ron. Okay. So go ahead and roll. So you guys note now, he like opens his thing and he's got it sawed off on the front holster. So that's a 4 and a 2. So you obliterated 2 of them. Ooh, there's 1 left. There's 1 condition. Let's see if this condition happens. So now we have reached 0 initiative. There is nobody who had attempted a ceasefire. So there's nothing, and there's no additional action at 0 on this turn. So now we roll our initiative again.
3.
2.
7.
Looks like Bart, you're going to be going first. You would have been going first, but the coyote went first with a 10, and it starts howling.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a very haunting howl, and everybody seems to be kind of disturbed by it. Even though you heard it already, it's still unsettling. It is now Bart's turn. You are fully loaded, by the way.
Is this coyote out medium away from me, or is this already?
No, this is close.
Already close. Okay, he's
Yep.
just gonna stab it with the knife, stab it with the sidearm.
Okay, go ahead and roll your 1d4.
3.
Okay. You slash it, and you hear, "Arr!" The howling doesn't stop. Rest of the Hawkwater group, they just kind of like look around, confused. They look over to the stragglers, who also are a bit confused. Then it is Zeke's turn.
Do we want to stab it? I think we're gonna stab it.
There's none left. It's just howling.
Oh, it's just howling.
Yep.
I'm gonna stab it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right now you have the double barrel shotgun, which takes 2 turns to reload, I think, right? Reload and
Yep.
cool off. So you have one of those turns now. Okay.
Okay.
Ron.
Well, since we've reloaded, I'm just thinking, what can I do?
And stab it.
Stab the air.
I'm gonna punch the air.
Okay. You punch the air. To what seems to be no avail.
Okay.
And then as you start punching the air, the howling gets louder and louder and louder, and all of a sudden you start seeing formations again of some more dark coyotes. This time, however, a lot of them are in close range. 2, 6, 10, 12. And one of them actually appears half in one of the tents. There is now 12 dark coyotes around you. Go ahead and roll initiative.
2.
7 again.
7?
There is a little grouping that seems to be medium range. The rest of them are close range. Almost as they're appearing, the stragglers are immediately just going into it. Trape lifts up his repeater carbine and starts firing. It's 2, 4, 6 damage. He kills one of the medium ones. Maria swings her knife and kills one of the close ones. Heather had grabbed a knife, so she's swinging at one of the close ones, kills a close one. Ace swings at a close one, kills a close one. And Cat kills 3 close ones. The mediums go. They'll come into range and start attacking Zeke and Ron. So Zeke will have to try to mitigate 1 damage, so please write that down for when it's your turn to dodge. And Ron, you will have to, on your turn, try to mitigate 2 damage using your dodge. It is now Bart, Ron, and one of the Dark Coyotes' turn.
Go ahead, Bart.
Stab. Yeah.
Okay,
It was 3.
so you kill one of the close ones. Okay,
Okay.
you have 2 damage to try to mitigate.
Initiative was a 7. 1.
1 mitigates the damage like a boss.
Alright. So, they're all in close range.
Yes.
How many are left?
3.
And one of them hasn't moved yet, right?
Correct.
Okay, so I'm reloaded. So, first shot, 4.
Okay, so 4, 2. So that's 2
Yep.
points.
3.
So that's 3 points.
They don't dodge, right?
They don't dodge.
That should
Okay.
kill all 3, right?
It will kill all 3. Yep. It has initiative 7 as well. So you killed it on its turn, but it also is it's attacking you actually. So go ahead and try to mitigate 1 damage.
6.
Okay. And I know it's already dead, but if it wasn't, do you remember what happens when you parry?
I get a damage, right?
As a slinger, for every successful parry while wielding a revolver, roll the 1d6 of your gun. If it is a chamber that is not yet empty, you automatically deal 1 damage to the attacker. Yeah, you ended up killing all of them. And you notice at this point in time that the howling, it's almost too quiet. It's really, really unsettling. But you watch as everybody just kind of looks around for a second, and a few moments go by. You figure, okay, if there were any more, they would already have appeared. So you don't hear any howling, don't hear anything except your own heartbeats. And then, of course, breaking the silence, Frankie goes, "Good thing I was on watch, huh? Otherwise something bad might have happened."
You're darn right.
I'm a clasp on a shoulder. Good job, Frankie.
Thank you.
Sounds like he wants some picnic baskets.
So with that, the next day, you now make your way to the walls of Malsinick.